The Gospel of the Lord. Life is for the sake of love, and love results in life. In the beginning, God created out of love. He created the world and soon after man. He formed man from the earth he had made, and he breathed life into him. And so the man lived and loved the Lord and all that he had been given. But there was no creature equal to him for him to love. In his goodness, God saw fit to give to the man an equal partner on the earth, one equal to Adam in dignity, and therefore able to love him as he loved. And so, as Adam was formed from the earth, God created Eve out of the same flesh of the man. She was made for him, and he was made for her. The man found himself incomplete without his partner. And so in one of the great love stories of the Bible, from his eternal plan, God made Adam and Eve to be one for the other, and to be together one. And so we are told for this reason, that from God's eternal plan, they are from one another, and they are for one another. That this is why a man leaves his father and mother and clings to his wife, and the two of them become one. Both Adam and Eve, and indeed everyone, are created for the sake of love. We are made to love and to serve the Lord, and we serve him through love. Now, what our society and what the church teach about love are not at all the same thing. Our society says that to love your neighbor means principally to be tolerant and to be compassionate. These things sound good enough, but this idea is taken to the extreme need to alleviate all discomfort. These days, a mere offense is enough to warrant a lawsuit, so watch your tongue. Every one of us is expected to help the state to provide contraceptives for all, because children and family life are such a burden. They're just too uncomfortable. And it's getting to the point in our society where we would rather bring about the end of someone's life rather than let them suffer even a little bit. That's not love. This is not compassion. This is the product of a confused generation. It is evil. It is the fruit of lies that have been spread through our society and promulgated for years. Love is for the sake of life. Everyone knows love is patient, love is kind. But St. Paul goes on. He writes, "Love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres." Putting an unborn child to death in order to avoid inconvenience or embarrassment, this is not love. Not for the girl who would be mother, the father, nor for the child. Neither is it really compassion to put to death someone who is debilitated by age, disease, or whatever affliction. Life is a precious gift that has been given to us, and we must therefore protect it. It is precious. Love does not delight in evil, but it rejoices in the truth. It rejoices in the truth of God, who has given all that is worthy of love. Love is creative. Love leads to life. When Adam and Eve are united, humanity is born. The greatest gift ever given to man is when God invited Mary to carry his own son, to bring God into the world as a human, to bring him in as human life. And Mary chose in this act to dedicate her life to the important and greatest love that God has given us. In a similar dedication, when a man and woman come forth to dedicate their lives together out of mutual love for each other, and they ask for the blessing of the church, they promise at that time to be constant in their fidelity. Love is patient, though patience is not always easy. They further promise always to be open to the gift of children. So many people these days are unable to see the beauty of the gift that God gives them in the form of life, in the form of new life, in children. Children are the fruit of marriage. They are valued by Christ. We see in the gospel today, he says, "Let the children come to me. Do not prevent them." They are valued by Christ. For the kingdom of God, he says, belongs to such as these. Children are a blessing from the Lord. A child in the house makes a family. Their presence transforms wife and husband into mother and father. They are improved. They are made better. In this way, they have participated with God in creation, in His creative act. And in this creation of life, they are invited to deepen their faith by leading another through the example of God. Children, says the psalm, are an inheritance from the Lord. And not only that, but a reward from Him. Compared in the psalm to arrows in the hand of a warrior. Happy, it is written, happy is the man with a quiver full of these arrows. And in another psalm we hear, blessed is the man whose wife is like a fruitful vine, one bearing copious fruit. Children are an inheritance. May you live to see your children's children. When we trust the Lord, His gifts, His blessings, happiness will follow. Christ today upholds the example of a child as a model of faith. As the child depends totally on his parents for everything, all that he was, will be, and has become, so must we learn to depend on God. The kingdom of God belongs to such as these. Sure. I know. I tried to stop myself a few times, but I can. Yeah. 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 Sure. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I was doing this much more yesterday, which so today I was intentionally. Yeah, and when I caught myself, I tried to pull back. So hopefully with practice, it'll become habit. Yeah, but even my posture wasn't great. I've seen a priest who, when he was making an important point, would go like this, and I thought it was effective. Yeah, yeah.